Welcome to my video series, Working with ALS. If this is your first time here, we are focused on a variety of tools used to enable my ability to keep working while still having ALS. Hope this will help other people with a variety of diseases or disabilities as they move forward. Today's focus is on using voice access, a command available inside of Windows 11 that allows us to control the computer with our voice and do dictation. Today we're going to be talking about the introduction and setup. In this video, to find out more ways to use voice access, look for this playlist on our Data on Wheels channel. My name is Steve Hughes. I've been living with ALS for about 2 years. And today I'm just going to introduce you to voice commands and voice dictation features within Windows. I lost the ability to work very well with my upper extremities. I have limited ability to work with a mouse and pretty much can't type anymore. So I needed to rely on voice tools to move this forward. I started out with Dragon. My company supplied that for me, but Dragon was pretty invasive to the way I worked. The way it needs to work to be effective was not very effective for how I like to work in my day-to-day operations. As a result of that, I also found Office 365 Dictation, which is a very great dictation tool, especially in Word and Outlook, and allows you to dictate very well and be able to, create documents and emails with limited issue. I've actually written a book using that tool, so I can tell you for a fact it's pretty good. The other tool that Microsoft introduced, there's speech recognition that's been around for a while with some command stuff. That's a lot like Dragon and pretty invasive to your the way you work. And then voice typing, which allowed me to use effectively use dictation in tools such as Teams. So let's dig into this and see how we can get started using these tools. So the first thing you'll need to go is go into your settings and drop into the accessibility section as I'm pointing to here. In that section, you'll see a number of different things to help a variety of accessibility issues in the world of Windows. The one we're focused today on is underneath interaction and is speech. So let's go ahead and select that one. As you can see here, there are 3 key feature sets. Windows speech recognition, which is currently turned on in my environment, and I keep turning it off. It keeps coming back. So I'm not sure what's going on there. It may be something you deal with as well. Voice typing, which I used a lot of in Windows 10. This allowed me to basically work in Teams effectively and actually do chats and discussions there. And then the newest one is voice access. What I will tell you, voice access would be the recommended approach to move forward on, especially if you're working in Windows 11. So this is Windows 11, and the H2 release last year basically made this available to us. So to turn it on, you just basically click the button to turn this on. And what you'll notice is at the top here, it added a bar that basically notifies you that voice access has been turned on, and that how you can wake it up to activate it. You can either say the command word here, or you can actually press the mic button as noted. So before we get into that part of it, let's do a quick look at what's available in our settings over here. So you can see here, you can select the default microphone. I have quite a few based on some of the configurations I have, but you can actually get in here and use that. You can also manage your microphone settings if you need to do that at the bottom based on what you might need for yours. I am currently working off of a desktop microphone. The reason I bring that up is that occasionally I have issues with voice access hearing me correctly. My understanding is if you use a headset, it's much more effective. However, I am uncomfortable wearing a headset as I'm not able to take one on or put it off, or take it off, put it on, that thing. So it's I use my desk one. So just be aware. There's pick a good microphone that has good noise cancellation and will focus on you well. Then you have the options of a variety of options you can manage. There's automatic punctuation, which while you're dictating, when you take a breath or something like that, it will punctuate end a sentence, those kind of things. I have found that to be more problematic than helpful. because it doesn't always punctuate when I want it to. So it's been kind of an interesting one for sure. Filter profanity is always a good thing. If you find yourself frustrated and you say the wrong word, occasionally it filters out words that aren't really profane, but in the context it feels like it is, and will do that. Just be aware of that. Then, of course, starting it up automatically is something I do on a regular basis. You can also turn it off here as opposed to going to settings. You will need to turn it back on. In order for me to manage that, what I've done is I've actually, down here, you can see, I actually have voice access pinned to my bar so that I can, quickly turn it on if it shuts down for some reason, or if I turn it off and I need to get it back on easily. So, from a help standpoint, there's a lot of help available. You can view all the commands. This will pop up a dialog with all the commands available to you, as well as a link to the article to make sure you're aware of all of them, all more of them. I'll be going through a number of these commands to, in later videos in this series. Also in help, you can start with an interactive guide. And it just basically gives you some options. Turn your mic on, how to do the different things you want to do, and start playing around. It's a good way to familiarize yourself with voice access in a simple way that's not going to mess up anything you're actively working on. All right. You can also learn about voice access from the help. They have a privacy statement just so you're aware if that's something of concern of yours, and giving feedback. I highly recommend that you give feedback. The team is actively tracking the feedback and has been very responsive. So I would definitely encourage you to give feedback, as this is a continually evolving product. All right, so those are the basics things to be aware of. As you can see here, voice typing is one I use with Windows 10, so I highly recommend that if you're in Windows 10. That's a great dictation tool for tools such as Teams. I am not a fan of Windows speech recognition. I tried to use it as well. It's work with commands and dictation where was pretty uncomfortable. I didn't like how it worked. So just be aware of that. It keeps turning on, like I said. I'm not sure if I have a setting somewhere that turns it on automatically. Occasionally it will turn itself on reboot. So I just turn it off. It doesn't seem to affect voice access in any way. All right. Now that you've seen the basics, let's turn it on, and I'll show you a couple of really quick commands before we exit out and get prepared for the next video, which will dig into some fun interactions. So to turn it on, you basically say, voice access wake up. Voice access wake up. One thing you're going to find out right away is if you don't separate the commands from a common sentence, you will think you're dictating as opposed to actually giving it the command. So in my case, you saw the delay. Well, when I said the command the second time, it worked as expected. You will also notice in the bar up here that it's showing all the dictation at the moment, even though I have nothing selected to dictate to. So it's capturing my voice as I do this video right now. Okay. So now let's show a couple simple commands just so you get a feel for how this works. Close settings. As you can see there, it closed my setting window. And now I want to let's open up Word. Open Word. Click on blank document. All right. Now we're going to start dictation. Okay, let's start dictating now. And now you can see that it's typing out the sentences on Word for me. We'll dig more into dictation later because I'm not really doing a good job of dictating a proper sentence, but this is a good way to understand what is going on. Now, when we're done using or need to step away from voice access for a moment, for example, if you're joining a meeting, you can either click the microphone in the corner to make it disabled, or you can say voice access sleep. And now you can see that it went to sleep mode, and with the option to click that mic to turn it back on, or to say the command to open it up again. So I hope that this is a good introduction. You know how to turn it on. You see some really basic commands. It is actually really easy to get working with. So I hope that you find that as well in your experience working with voice access. I hope you liked this video. Look forward to seeing more of these videos coming up in the playlist for voice access. Thank you. Have a great day.